Hi, I'm Pastor Peter Moore at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Centralia, Washington. This is the first Sunday in the season of Lent in the church year, where we spend time with Jesus in the three temptations by the devil in the wilderness. The wilderness becomes a classroom for God. If you know the story of Israel wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, and now Jesus 40 days in the wilderness, we talk about it as a classroom because God is teaching the lessons of faith. Here is God taking us into a place full of dangers, full of trials and tribulations, and God says, I will provide. Do you trust in me? The lesson of the wilderness is, will you trust? Will you trust? Jesus, it says, has been fasting for 40 days in the wilderness, and the devil comes to him and says, if you are the Son of God, command these stones to become bread. And I mean, if I'd been, I know I couldn't fast for 40 days. And Jesus quotes scripture back to him and says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth from the mouth of the Father, quoting from the book of Deuteronomy. And 3 times the devil tempts Jesus, and each time he's tempting him with command, with power, with authority, with rule. And if Jesus succumbs, if Jesus fails the test, if he is to exercise what the world would recognize as power and rule, he fails and the devil wins. Because in the end, the final temptation is when Jesus is hanging upon the cross. And again, they say to him, if you are the Son of God, come down from this cross and save yourself that we might believe in you. It's at that point that Jesus has that choice. He could come down from the cross, but he then would become the militant Jesus, the triumphant Christ, the John Wayne Jesus. And he's not those things. The devil wins if Jesus becomes militant and triumphalistic, if he comes and exercises worldly power through armies and might and violence and strength, the ways the world would recognize. Instead, Jesus proves that he is the Son of God by exercising power through sacrificial love, through giving of himself, emptying of himself, and service and forgiveness and compassion. And we then are invited to follow him.